Hello, everybody. Dan DeFedericis of Saratoga Report. And I have a special guest with us today. Elizabeth is joining us here. And Elizabeth is a parent of a child at Saratoga Central Catholic School, often called SPA Catholic, and or SCC perhaps. And she's here to talk to us about the school in general because they're having an open house on March 13th, 5:30 to 7:30. This is sponsored content on Saratoga Report. Elizabeth, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing? It started off really cold this morning, really cold, single
Okay.
digits, and now it's pretty bearable.
Yes, it is. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so listen, let me jump right into this. If you're walking downtown Saratoga Springs, you bump into an old friend that has a child that's about to enter maybe middle school or high school, and they ask you, "Well, I know you have a child going to Saratoga Central Catholic School.
Hmm.
What would you tell me that would be a reason that I at least want to check it out on the open house?"
Yes. Well, like you said, we are a new family. So my son has just started. We are probably, halfway through the year. He's in the sixth grade. And what brought us to SCC in the first place, number one, were the small class sizes, um, where we have found that he really thrives in the smaller setting, where he can get individualized attention. I believe it's a 9-to-1 student teacher ratio, which is very good. Uh, and also, it was a continuation of a faith based education for him. Prior to SEC, he had attended St. Clement's, K through fifth grade.
Okay.
And it was important to us that he continued on with that faith-based learning. And it's important that to us that he's going to school with other students and with teachers that share a similar value and moral system.
Okay, great. Thank you. You
Mhm.
know, and as you know, I have two daughters at St. Clement's, and we're going to soon be making a decision on middle school.
Yes.
And we are blessed really with some terrific public schools in this area, but they are
Yes.
different, right? And they're much
Mhm.
bigger.
Yes. Yep.
And the middle school, as I'm told, the Saratoga Springs High School Middle School is the largest middle school in the state. Now, some have more middle school students, but they're divided up amongst different buildings, different middle schools. So that there's again with acknowledging that they're really really good schools. They rate well and everything.
Yes.
They are different, and that's my daughter. That's your son, and
Mhm.
there's a certain the nurturing. I think you used
Mhm.
that. We spoke previously was a
Mhm.
term you used. There's a nurturing aspect there, and
Mhm.
the word term I use is warmth.
And
Uh,
more.
the, the the fifth grade teacher knows my fourth grade and first grade daughters, at least at St. Clements, and I'm sure it's similar at Saratoga
Mhm.
Central Catholic. Correct?
Yes, I will. And I will credit St. Clement's and just the wonderful job they did in preparation for my son moving on to middle school. It was a smooth transition for him, a very smooth and successful transition. Um, but at SEC, like you said, the environment, it's a nurturing, warm, and supportive environment that you feel in the school. And I think that's what makes our school so special. Um, they are always planning some sort of school wide event, either one going on or one to look forward to, that I know the kids really enjoy, that gets the whole school involved. And through that, there's a blending of the different grades together. And that really creates a real sense of community for the kids.
And I sense that. I was in the school the other day for the very first time in my life, and I actually happened to be in there at between periods, between classes where they had to, the bell rang. I haven't heard that in decades. And I had to like get accustomed to that concept again, and it was such a neat feeling to be in the hallway, seeing these kids go to class, and they looked purposeful, and they looked happy to be there,
Happy to
and
be there. Yes,
yeah,
you
and that
definitely
was
see
that
that.
was I enjoyed that. I enjoyed
Yeah, it's
seeing
a
that.
special place. Yep.
And as I understand it, and I don't, neither you nor I are an expert on this, but for those that might be considering it, but realize or but think to themselves, I'm not sure if I could afford it. to some families, financial aid is an option, assuming they qualify. Is that something you're familiar with as well?
I know, but I know come if you come to the open house, that's a great place to start in asking questions. Yes, I do know that there is financial aid available to anyone who needs it
That's
to
okay.
attend the
That's
school.
great. And that's something I didn't know until a couple of years ago. I always thought financial aid was a college thing, because
Right.
I was brought up in the public school system. So that's great to know. I think that's something that maybe the diocese supports and so forth. Going back to your faith-based education, there's a
Hmm.
lot to that, right?
Yes.
And you used the word environment when we spoke before, and I think you already touched on that. The caring and support of that's important to me. Again, I just felt warmth from the first day I was at St. Clements, and like I said, I expect it to continue.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Wonderful.
great. Okay,
Yep.
well, listen, is there anything else that you'd like to say to parents as far as the open house? And I'm going to put the Saratoga Central Catholic URL there. It's basically just
Hmm.
saratogacatholic.org. If you can't make the open house or you have some questions before or after, you can contact them off that. Elizabeth, is there anything else you'd like to
Hmm.
say regarding this for parents that are considering going or can't go and want to
Hmm.
contemplate it themselves?
Yes, absolutely. If there are interested families, to absolutely attend the open house or reach out for a private tour if that time doesn't work. And just an opportunity to get a tour of the school, meet the teachers and some current students, and just learn about all the different programs available. Um, I know there are 15 varsity sports teams. The students are allowed to play sports starting in seventh grade, seventh through 12th grade.
Okay.
Learn about the theater arts program. There's so many clubs. I believe there's 20 clubs and organizations to choose from. There really is something for everyone.
And that's great. And I love how you said in some cases it's the whole school, like for instance, a musical production or something, I assume is what you mean, that the entire school is involved with that sense of community.
Yes. Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you for
Hmm.
joining us today, folks. I have it again on the screen. Open house March 13th, 5:30 to 7:30. If you can't make it, SaratogaCatholic.org. Reach out and see, as Elizabeth said, if you can get a private tour and a consultation. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Take
Thanks.
care.